Bow, 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 bow. One man king.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys, and good morning. Well, guys, really quickly today, I want to do a short and sweet podcast episode talking about social media. And the reason I want to talk about that is, as we all grow our businesses, one of the simpler things to do or easier things to do is the low-hanging fruit, and that is, creating our web presence, creating our social media presence, and just spreading the word about our new business and what we have going on, with our lawn and landscape companies, our restaurant businesses, our hotel businesses, our sanitation business, a bin washing business, Actually, just the other day, there were some guys that were locking down the contract for our apartment complex, and they were washing the bins out and doing a demo. And I said, oh my God. I ran all the way over there and I said, cash in hand, I will have you wash my bins. And the guy's like, actually, we're looking to sell the business low key. You ever want in? And I'm like, call me in 12 months. But any which way, all of our, businesses out there that we all run and grow, I wanted to just help you guys maybe with some quick nuances, some quick tips, and help out maybe just 1 degree different of thought process, just as I see it, right? As Jay-Z said, just my thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, on the blueprint too. So just my thoughts. And that's what I wanted to do today, is just give you guys my perspective as I kind of see some things out there. And maybe if this is new to you, it helps you go, wow, a whole new world. If you've already been doing this for a hot minute and you just get one little tip or trick or nuance, hey, all that better, all the better. So real quick, here's what I have wrote down is, number 1, these are the 4 things we're going to go through, and it'll be a pretty simple episode today. Number 1, who are you trying to reach? Number 2, understanding what social relationship is. Number 3, talk about how social media is like your digital yard sign or business card. And then number 4, talking about, how to get more clicks and views, engagement, and interest, right? And basically the title of that is, sensationalism sells. And so this is going to be just a kind of a brain dump. I don't have a bunch of fun anecdotal stories necessarily with you guys, but I do have some relatable stories that I'm sure I can give you to just kind of make some of these points and just kind of help you think a little bit different. So we're going to be, like I said, short and sweet today. Let's just get to the point, man. Let's jump into today's show sponsors and announcements, and then we're going to come right on back.
We love our industry and are always looking to maximize your production in the field. Ballard Products have over 350 products that can help you get the most out of your efforts every day. Whether you're looking to get a better cut, keep your gear on your machine, keep your expensive equipment clean and safe, or just get the most out of your machines, Ballard has you covered. Make sure to use Brian's 10 to save 10% off our complete line of gear. Jump on our easy-to-use updated website at ballard-inc.com to get your gear ordered today. Now get out there and make it your best year yet. Ballard.
We look forward to seeing you guys down at Equip Expo 2023, October 17th through the 20th. Guys, don't forget to use promo code Brian to register and save your guys' self 50% all summer long. Get those tickets ASAP. And by the way, we do earn a little bit of a kickback, and that goes right into supporting the show, supporting the podcast, and the YouTube channel. So thank you guys so much in advance if you happen to use our code. And don't forget to register you and each individual that you got to bring for your team. You got to register each person separately. All right, guys. Well, as we jump on back into the show, I just want to say, hey, congratulations to all of you guys that are, having a good week, starting a great week. You guys are off to the races. You guys are probably getting the spring rush going. I know we are around here, and it feels good, man. It feels good to get the plows, quote unquote, put away. It feels good to shift gears hardcore for us. It's almost like when you're in a boat and you just like rip it backwards, rip it forward, rip it backwards, or just trying to, bring the boat close to the dock. That's kind of how it feels sometimes in the spring rush. You kind of pump the brakes because you could be doing spring cleanups one day, salt runs the next day, spring cleanups the next day, snowplow runs. Then you could do spring cleanups 2 days later. You can go plow snow, and then you could be doing mulch installations the next day, and so on and so forth. So that's kind of the spring rush around here. But the 10 days looking pretty a little bit warmer, a little bit more chill, thank God. So before we jump into it, Together in the Trades tickets are quickly wrapping up. We have a couple more weeks. We're going to be making those available. And then believe it or not, guys, May, and then the conference is in mid-July. So we're going to be shutting that thing down, I think like the 1st of June or something like that. So I know it sounds like a lot, but there's about 15 to 20 tickets left. So about 30 to 40 more people that can go, 15 to 20 couples. Not a lot left. So if you guys have been on the fence or you guys are thinking about going, this is your... I don't do like the FOMO thing, like fear of missing out. I'm just telling you, if you're going to go, we can't wait to hang out, have a great party time with you guys and talk about strengthening our relationships. And if you guys aren't going, hey, absolutely no big deal. There'll always be a next one, or there'll be other marriage counseling services available for you in life. And you can always, work on your marriage another time. All right. So let's jump into the topic of the day. And that is social media. And you guys can see the big deep breath there. It's like, hey, get ready. We're going to lay it on them thick. Come on, Fullerton, hit me. All right. So let's talk about number one. When we talk about social media, and these are just 4 things. I can talk 100 different things about social media, 100 different ways. We've done quite a bit with social media. We're not social media gurus. I'm just a guy on social media. Let me just say that really quick. I'm not trying to create the biggest social media following. I'm actually a pretty reluctant social media person. If you know my story and you've heard some of the previous podcast episodes that I talked with my wife, or even Julio Tomeo with Lawn Care Business Success back in the day, my wife was like, hey, you got to get on social media. You got to get on Instagram. You got to get on, all these different apps. And I'm like, nah. And then TikTok came along and my friends are all, on TikTok. You got to get on TikTok. I'm like, nah. Couldn't care less. Like, yes, it behooves me to get on those platforms, I guess, and spread the message and, share more people with who we are and what we're doing. But at the same point, like, I've been kind of more, hey, like the message will find the right people. Let's not, get lost in the numbers. Let's not make social media our God. Let's not treat it not like a business, but let's not like go off the deep end where we're sacrificing our relationship, our business, our life, my core business, my lawn landscape company on the altar of, having likes, views, subscribers, followers, so on and so forth. Right. So I've tried to keep just a healthy pace, nothing super crazy. Okay. Now, that being said, let me go over tip number 1 is, who are you trying to reach? I think a lot of people out there, get confused with their Instagram, their TikTok, their Facebook, their YouTube channel, their ads with who they're trying to reach. And I've kind of quantified it 1 or 2 different ways over the years. And if I was going to teach a seminar on social media, this is what I would just tell you. Number 1, figure out who you're trying to reach. Are you trying to reach the John Q public and it could be AKA and or customers, or B, are you trying to reach business owners, contractors, guys like me, guys like you, right? Like, what is your social media for? Because I have a lot of folks out there that are creating content and they want to inform, educate, influence, market to, help, whatever, right, with their social media content to other business owners. And so, like, there's people running conferences, people running podcasts, people with courses or masterminds and groups, right? Like, that's all fine, dude. I couldn't care less. That's their MO. That's their prerogative. But with that content that you put out, I know this sounds kind of remedial maybe, but I'm just telling you, like, and I'll get into why I've seen people like mess this up, is you have to know like what your social media content is putting out. Who is it for? Who is it trying to digest? Like, we talk all the time with our lawn and landscape company, who's your target customer avatar? Then we get on social media and one post is, hey, if you guys need, now scheduling mulch service, in my local town, call the phone number. And then your next post is you on a 59-second vertical video, make it a reel, whatever you want to do, calling out how you hate cheap customers. And one of the biggest problems that you have, you're just like rant session. I had this customer and I give them a $6,000 landscape quote with a $400 design, didn't even charge them. They took that design to somebody else and they got it for $4,800. I hate cheap customers. I hate cheap people. And it's like, okay, the first message you were talking to your customers, and the second video, sure, you're just ranting, harmless in theory. and you're like ranting to your bros, your friends, your contractor buddies that all like it. They're like, this is an awesome rant. Like, yeah, we're all tired of people being cheap. And by the way, that's in every industry. That's in everything and everywhere. But do you guys know what I'm saying? Like the first one was to a customer. The second one was to a lawn bro. And your social media has like two different messages going out. And so you're confusing people. And when you chase two rabbits, you get none. And so similarly, people are making YouTube videos or YouTube content. And one, like the high level one that bothers me is you're making content for either your customers or your business friends. And then like your third or fourth video, or every third or fourth video, it's you with little dude, your little boy, and you guys go fishing. And it's a fishing vlog or a 4-wheeler vlog, or it's a downtown, hey, because you guys went to, I don't know, somewhere in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and you're like, look at all the Christmas lights. And it's like, bro, that video has no point being quote unquote on that YouTube channel or that Instagram account if it has nothing to do with your business. Now, that's a great time to have a personal account, or maybe your girl, she, has her personal account, or the friend account, or the family account. You know what I mean? Like, just put your content on the right platform. Stop mixing things. And that can take some time. I get it where it's a transition, but I've had a lot of people over the years. I'm just, calling a spade. Like, who are you talking to and making sure that your content relates to that person. I know that kind of seems like a no-brainer, but it's such an easy, mistake that a lot of people are making. It's the similar sin that I see a lot of people making, especially when they start a YouTube channel. Look, if you were like, hey, we're shifting gears and we're going all in on this type of content moving forward, that's fine. I'm not saying you have to go back and delete all your old videos. However, you could unlist them because it has nothing to do with your channel. So like if you're in a fence business and you're like creating these little, 2-minute how-to fence videos with your iPhone 13 or 14, freaking awesome. And you're like, hey, here's what other companies do versus what we do. And you're explaining to the customer, that's awesome. But if you got like 8 videos back and you have like fishing trips with you and your boy, like that's not going to really, like, I'm going to go, what the heck is going on here? Is this a professional business page, or is this guy a hobby, business owner? Is this a guy that like does fences on the side outside of like doing cement work? I don't know. Right. So you don't want to confuse people. Right. So number 1, who are you talking to? Customer or business owner. Number 3, keeping your messaging straight. And then number 4, cleaning up your social media to where you don't have anything like embarrassing from the past that could be detrimental to having credibility for people to hire you or to seek you out. Okay. Okay. I don't want to beat a dead horse in this one. Just some quick tips. That was an easy one. Number 2, social relationship. I see a lot of folks, and I was just talking to this with our friend Bethany. She's helping with us on our social media. She's doing fantastic. She's incredible. The newsletter that you guys have been receiving 3 days a week. We're having 2 blog posts a week now on our Facebook page. I'm telling you, we are literally pouring it out there to help you guys grow. I'm telling you, I'm so excited about all the content we've been pushing out. It's real authentic lawn care in 2023. We're trying to get brass tacks, just, keep it salt of the earth, information that can help you guys grow. Bethany, Elizabeth, and I, we talk about once or twice a week for about an hour and a half every week on each meeting. And it's not just X's and O's. I'm trying to explain Bethany, like, hey, here's our approach. Here's our philosophy. Here's what we're trying to do. And as you guys might imagine, it's others focused. It's let's put some context into this thing. Like, where are we at? What are we trying to do? Who are we trying to help? What are we trying to get people to do, quote unquote, if there's a call to action? And really, there's not a call to action other than, hey, encourage you guys and believe in yourself more. But what I wanted to talk about was, I was saying, like, some people view social media as like it's negative, or it's toxic, or it's time consuming, and I ranted on this for a hot minute just a couple of weeks ago, but some people are like, I get on social media, I post, and I get off social media. And I really wanted to, I was trying to explain this to Bethany best I could, to like, without, boring her to the brain, and watching her eyes gloss over, which hopefully I didn't do that. But I said, like, imagine if social media, you make a reel or a post, and it's basically like an internet conversation, right? So work with me on this quick analogy, but like, let's say in real life, in person, you're at the park, It's you're hanging out with your kid, whatever, your spouse. And you're like, hey, this is a great day. Like, it's a beautiful day out. And somebody comes up to you and you say, I had, eggs and bacon and a great time with my family. And we had a really good breakfast at, Grand Slam, the name of the local breakfast place, whatever. It's called Grand Slam. Okay. And it was really, really good. And you're explaining this to a stranger or somebody that you're talking to. And then before they even have a chance to reply, like, you just say bye. You don't even say bye. You just like turn off. You just go invisible. You just vanish from the planet. What is it? Because why? Because you got off social media, because you closed the app out, because you logged out. So like, you started this potential conversation, but you are like, I don't stay on social media. I get off social media. I only produce content. I don't consume content. No shade on anybody. I've heard hundreds of people say stuff like this. And I'm just like, hey man, I think you're missing the point of what social media is. By the way, this isn't for me talking to you as a YouTube, Instagram, trying to sell you a lawn care contract on LawnpreneurAcademy.com. This is me talking to you as somebody who is growing a lawn care landscaping business that also has a website, a social media presence, and I would treat all of my same content the exact same way for my personal business or I would for our social media business. Social media is a conversation starter. It's an excuse to get with somebody. It is something that is building social commerce, social relationship. That's what social media, quote unquote, is. Now, there are like versions of what it's transformed and translated and transmuted into, like whole nother conversation for a whole nother time. But even people that are dancing on TikTok and shaking their booty, and they're getting hundreds of thousands of comments and likes and hearts and, people becoming influencers or whatever you want to call it. Like, they're still engaging a conversation with those people. I like to dance. You like to dance. Hey, we found some mutual common ground. People hate on people that dance. We're all in this together. We're a community of people that like to dance. And if people don't like to dance, they're non-dancing people, then we don't care or whatever. But again, to go back to my park analogy, you're like, hey, I'm going to put something out there in the ethos. And then before anybody gets a chance to reply, you log off. You vanish at the park. Like, if it was in the real world, right? If it was in the real world and you're like, I get on something and I get off something, or I say something and then I leave. It's like having a conversation with another human being and saying hi, and then immediately just walking away. And it's like, well, you wouldn't do that in real life. So why would you do that on social media? Now, really quick, interesting part about social media is that you're able to post something and revisit it an hour later, a day later, a week later, a month later, right? So I'm not saying you gotta sit there and wait for somebody real time to comment, heart, whatever with your post, engage with your post. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I am trying to say is when people like your post, when's the last time you reached out to somebody that liked your post and said, hey dude, I saw you liked my post. Glad you can relate. And you engaged with that 12 people that liked your post, that 120 people that liked your post, the 1,200 people, the 120,000 people that liked your post. When's the last time you reached out and engaged anybody that, again, business owner or consumer, it doesn't matter. These are people. That's what social media is. On the other end, for the authentic accounts out there, those are real people. And so when 2 people or 12 people or 100 people leave a comment on your social media, on your Facebook page, on your review with maybe you can rebuttal, and say thank you, like an Amazon review, or your Instagram post or a TikTok page, why would you not engage that person? Why would you not build a relationship? Why would you not build a conversation with that person? So people are like, well, I get on social media to get off social media. Wait, so all you're doing is putting out little digital business cards at the gas pump, hoping that somebody is attracted to you, your message, and wants to join your tribe, but you don't want to put any effort into building a relationship with that person and adding value to them. You just want them to most likely buy something, buy a landscape job, buy a real estate course, join the group, do the something, right? It's always a get people to call to action. What I've noticed the most successful people do is they add value, they add value, they add value with no thought of trying to get something in return. Can I just show you guys my cards? This is Gary V. It's OVVO. Opt-in, value, value, offer. Maybe you've heard this before. Maybe you haven't. This is like marketing 101. Reebok does this. Forever 21 does this. Toys R Us back in the day before they went bankrupt. Maybe a bad example, but they do this. Best Buy, every single person does this. They opt in to your email, to your website, to your place, to your group. They give you a 10% off code. Then they email you usually a couple newsletters or something like that of like encouragement. And then there's the sell letter, the offer, not the sell. It's an option. It's an offer, right? So you opt in. And opt-in, by the way, could be you join somebody's Facebook group, you join somebody's Instagram, you just hit follow on somebody's Instagram page, you're following on their TikTok, and that's fine. That's fine. Like that's the last 8-10 years with Gary V, and that's fine. That's good. Like that is healthy way to do business. It's opt-in, add value to somebody, encourage them, love on them, give them a couple brain tweaks. This is what the podcast is. It's an opportunity to add value. And if you want to buy something, we don't tell you to buy something. If you want to buy something, buy something. If you found something that's encouraging from our content and you want to reciprocate or buy something that, of course, still gives you the upside, then buy it. And if you don't, no big deal. But all the time, people are like, I want people to join my following. I want people to follow what I'm doing. I want people to like my page or leave a review. And it's like, bro, you've never built a relationship or served those people, or they're not your tribe or your group or your clan or your posse or your mastermind group, or they're not raving fans. Is Jeff Joyner, he came to LAL last year. He's coming back this year. Or 2 years ago, Jeff Joyner was here, and then 3 years ago, and subsequently he'll be back for his third time. He said, you turn those people into raving fans. Like, keep it practical. You do a landscape job and you want a review. Before you're done with that job, ask the customer, hey, were you happy with the job, or are you like blown away? Happy is going to be a 4 or 5 star review. That's fine. But if they're blown away, and phrase it that way, hey, are you blown away with what we did? Absolutely, honey. Hey, here's my exact direct link to a Google review. Could you leave us a 5-star, preferably, review? And if it's not 5-star, before you do, please give me a chance to write it. I just want to make sure that you're 100% blown away with what we do. Right? But you don't just go around like, hey, can I get a 5-star? Can I get a 5-star? Like, look at practically speaking in the restaurant business. We go out to eat. After they've served us, we leave a tip. But let me ask you this, like the whole tipping pandemic, which I cannot stand, just like so many else, like, you go to Aunt Annie's Pretzels, or Auntie Anne's, or whatever it's called, and you get your little $8 thing, a little cinnamon cup of little pretzels and a little cheese dip, which is incredibly amazing. If you guys want to send gift cards, that's the gift card to get. I don't need Lowe's. I don't need Amazon. I don't need Chick-fil-A, okay? I need the Auntie Anne's, okay? But when they flip the screen around, they say, like, do you want to tip 10, 15, or 20%? And it's, $1.50, $3.19, and $4.75 on your $15 ticket. You're like, bro, you didn't even do anything. And think about, like, why do you get bitter or resentful? Because they didn't do anything. They didn't serve you. They literally took their hand, put it in the little bin, the little hot warmer, got you a thing of pretzels or a Cinnabon. Oh, man, I love Cinnabon. They got you a Cinnabon. They bagged it up and like, hey, the screen's going to ask you one more question. No, it's a no tip. I'm not giving you a tip for that. I'm closet bitter, closet resentful because you never served me. Getting something out of the hot box is not serving. Okay? Like, that's not restaurant serving. That's not going to a nice steakhouse, which everybody's listening to has been to a nicer steakhouse. I don't care if it's Longhorn or above, but you go to Ruth Chris, you go to Eddie Merlot's, you go to Your Place Prime, you go to Your Place Chop House, and you leave them a $30, $40, $60, $80, $100, $200 tip because the service was impeccable. Like your glass has never even got less than halfway. They make suggestions. They tell you funny stories. They wine and dine. They dazzle. They ritz. Like you have a good feeling, a good experience. Same thing with Nordstrom. Like, you don't mind paying those prices because you get served. Let's take it back to social relationship. How many people feel like social media is serving them? How many people do you feel like that you follow are pouring into you? Or do you feel like it's always people trying to sell you? I will just tell you people, tell people straight up, whether it's a lawn care business, your social media, your social media business, whatever people are doing out there these days, whatever it is, lead with helping, lead with encouraging. Gary Vee says 51-49, give more than you take. I still always have said and believe, and we try to exercise 90-10, 90. And I know some of you guys are like, Fullerton, you're probably one of the bigger sinners of this whole conversation. You might feel that way. You could believe that way. That's fine. But I know combined the amount of content we put out, all encompassing, it's 90-10. It's 95-5. We put on LAL. It cost me $100,000. People are like, what do you make on that thing? I go, honestly, I've never job costed it. I couldn't tell you. 50 grand, 30 grand, 10 grand, true profit. I will tell you it's not 50. I'll tell you it's probably not even 30. For a year's worth of effort, 400 people coming in, couldn't even care less. We literally couldn't even care less. Why is that? Because last year we bought a freaking $5,000 spin-a-booth camera thing, which was so fun, so cool, just as an extra. We bought a neon light thing, for the Launchpreneur Academy logo, all this stuff. We're just reinvesting. We had a photo booth there with Keith Kalfas's guy, Quentin. All this stuff costs money. I did not have a sponsor for the go-kart track. That cost me, out of pocket, out of the budget of the event, $8,000. $8,000. Dude, that's a lot of money. And people are like, oh, you're in it for $1. I go, bro, I read it out of and you can say well, the sponsors for Saturday night paid for it. Well, no, not really. 2 years ago, we had Toro Horizon 360 sponsor that thing. And thank God that they did. But bro, I paid 8 G's out of pocket. And people are going to go, well, you're trying to get people to do stuff. I'm trying to get people to go to the go-kart track, have a good time, network, make friends. And in the corner, people are building friendships, building relationships, podcasting, taking photos. People are bringing in their kids that were local, bringing in their families. Eric Estes brought his kids and his family. He's the Plowright guy. And many, many more of y'all. Right? Serving, growing. And then some people go, well, I want to be like certain social media people have it going on and they can get hundreds of people to show up to a booth. And then other social media people don't have that going on and they can't get 10 people to show up to something. Or they have to rely on other people to pull in weight, to bring in the views, the fans, the followers, the people, the audience, right? No, dude, lead, serve, give, and watch how quickly your social media following will grow. So many people are like, hey man, how do I grow my social media following? If you've ever DM'd me that, I will screenshot and send it to 100 different people, the same response, probably 1,000 times. Add value and help people. Add value. It's not post at 7-Eleven 37. It's not, hey man, reels are the answer. Hey man, funny, memes are the answer. Hey man, it's not strategy. It's not tactic. It's always, where's the heart? Where's the mission? Where's the point? And listen, I'm not saying everybody's like that, okay? Because there's 100 examples of how you can grow your social media all different ways. But I will tell you, the people that I've seen that have longevity in their social media, conversion in their social media, followings in their social media, relationships built in their social media, friends, followings, that's the difference. And the numbers don't lie. I go on YouTube and I see people get, 3 million subscribers in 6 months. And then they're a pop and drop. And I look at their YouTube channel, the last, 10 videos, and they've had 1,000 views. I'm like, oh, okay. So I've seen the sensationalism of how you've grown your content, but you haven't really it's like the parable of the sower. There's the 4, seeds, and one, is casted on, rocky ground and it doesn't take root. It's scorched up. One grows fast and it gets scorched up. One's, on fertile soil and it grows thick roots and it grows, a long time with a harvest. There's different things out there with businesses and growth. And it's dude, if you want to be here long term, you have to build relationships. And so when people are like, I have social media, and I don't know I'm ranting here, but when people are like, I get on and I get off, or people comment on my stuff, or I don't follow people back, like the people with 0 followers or 1 follower, like that's not a team player. That's not a team sport. That's not somebody who cares about you, period. Like even the biggest people I know that have the biggest social media, they still follow 30, 60, 80, 100, 250 people. And the people that have none, usually they're in it for themselves. And they're more than likely, are just trying to convince you, trying to sell you. They're not interested in building a relationship with you. They're trying to extract out of you. And be wary of it. That's all I'm saying. By the way, no shade if that's their MO. No shade at all. Dude, God bless you. You go do you. I couldn't care less. It's not my bit. I'm just drawing observations here. You ever notice with Fullerton, I never get in the thick of any of it. Couldn't care less. Like I have 100%, Liz and I have proven our content, proven ourselves and who we are. If you're coming into, and if, you watch one video and you make a judgment call, dude, I get it. No problem. God bless. Shame on you, but I guess no problem. God bless. But like, dude, we've been doing this for 6 years. You guys know where my heart is. You guys know where intentionality is. You guys know that what we do, I don't have to like prove it. It's already been proven. But just be careful when like new people pop up or new things pop up, or you hear people that have following say certain things, like be a fruit inspector. All right. Let me do this really quick. We'll do the last two. Well, we kind of just talked about them. Let me go to number 4. We'll do this in reverse order. Sensationalism sells. People with big followings, typically, a lot of the stuff is sensationalism. It doesn't behoove you to jump on bandwagons of drama, sensationalism, people that are quibbling, people that want to waste time. Got to go back to my man Jay-Z. He said, a wise man once told me, don't argue with fools because people at a distance can't tell who is who. That's biblical. Not what Jay-Z said, but that stems from a proverb. It's biblical. Like, don't argue with people. Because people at a distance, they can't tell who is who. Like, people quibble all the time. There's all the time people arguing. And it brings in views and subs and, and it's just in sensationalism, and people that don't even care start to care. When you're watching something that you typically wouldn't care about, but now you're watching it because you slightly care because out of curiosity, like that person won, you lost. They got the view, you wasted your time. They took you for a loop. They just think or feel something that you weren't intending them to do, and you broke focus. How many times are you going to let that happen in your life before you control what happens to your ear gate and your eye gate? And then that same person that put out said content, you're going to look at them as an authoritative source that they're there to help you out. You believe that person's there to help you grow. Dude, you're bad confused. Like, can I say that and still be your friend? Why would you let somebody distract you? Why would you let somebody confuse you? Why would you let somebody stir emotions in you that you do not need to let that Pandora's box open? Because we're all fighting demons all the time. And then you're going to let somebody cater to the flesh, let that out of the bag. You have to pay the ramification for it while they got the upside, typically the monetary gain. And then you're going to go, that's a good person. I'm going to defend that person. I'm going to hook my caboose to that person. If you do that, you do not need to be listening to my podcast. You're more than welcome to turn it off, change the channel, and go hook your caboose to somebody that I guarantee you will take you over the edge of the cliff. If you want to grow a long-lasting life, be rooted in success principles, faith principles, and a strong family relationship dynamic, I encourage you to keep listening, okay? Be careful of sensationalism. And there's a lot of people out there. That's their MO. That's the clicks. That's the views. That's the gateway. I will tell you, you do not have to do that to reach your customers, whether you're building a social media business or a lawn and landscaping company. Highlight the good, highlight the positive, and give people a sense of satisfaction, a sense of hope, a vision, for what they can have for themselves. And I promise you, you will attract many people to you. Maybe not as fast, maybe not as many, or maybe not as quickly as if you went the alternative route of negativity. But I will assure you that over the long haul, you will build not only an audience of people, not only will your message get out there, but it'll get out there and be shared with the right people. All right, one last one. Your social media, and we'll just wrap this up. Your social media is your digital yard sign. It's your digital business card. Okay? And so take the breadth of everything I just said. By the way, people are like, Fullerton, you don't really swear on much of your content. I'll drop a couple, bombs on the podcast. It's unfiltered. I'm an adult. If you're listening in, I would assume you're an adult. I know kids listen in, but it's, for the 18 plus crowd. The YouTube channel, I can't control where that goes. Podcast is really an opt-in. Social media, specifically YouTube, the algorithm promotes that. I can't control whether a 12-year-old gets sent my video. Very, very rarely. You can't, you guys know what I'm saying. So all of our social media on YouTube, 99.9%, it's clean. I don't want that kid, or more specifically that parent, let alone you guys, my core audience, the, 18 to 55, 18 to 35 crowd. I don't want them to see me swear. I don't swear often. I swear with my close friends and in closed doors and, frickety frack, just like you guys do. I'm a real person. But on YouTube, and it's not being a facade, it's not being fake. It's just like, dude, clean it up. Like kids don't need to stumble across that. Young adults don't need to stumble across that. By the way, swearing doesn't make you successful. So why even bother? Well, what about Gary Vee? That's Gary Vee's brand. Okay. Calm down. Stop judging him. Who cares? That's his brand. That's who he is, by the way. It's more than just his brand. This is who he is. And if you don't like it, turn it off. Don't follow him. Oh, I can't follow him because he's got a bad mouth. I don't care. No problem. If you can't get over that, being an adult, then dude, you probably have struggled with other things, to be honest with you too. I don't like that guy. You don't have to like people to learn from them. Why do I want to learn from him? Because I don't like him. Dude, that's totally fine. Go to the grocery store. You don't get everything. You leave some things on the shelf. Get the things you need and then go hit checkout. Okay? But don't be like, well, I'm not going to grocery stores because I just, food is evil. What? No, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. You can learn from everybody. Okay? I just want to wrap it up with your social media is your digital business card. It's your digital yard sign. What kind of impression are you leaving out there for your customers, your friends, your potential fans? By the way, I didn't say anything about YouTube. Didn't say anything about TikTok or your Instagram account. I'm talking about your lawn and landscape company. I'm talking about pretty much everything. I'm talking about when people talk about you, what are they saying? You don't need it to be on social media, but when you're out to dinner and, people are talking about you at, somebody else's dinner, are they going to say nice things about who you are, who your company is? That's your physical, in-person community digital, or business card. But then you get your social digital card, which is your social media. What does it say? If I skimmed your Instagram feed, right? I guess just to keep it simple, if I scrolled your Instagram grid and I went back, 30 photos or squares or whatever you want to call it, whether that encompassed, some of you guys 3 days, y'all post way too much. Whether that, is over 3 weeks, that's fine. Or, 3 months, that's fine too. But if I scroll through your last 30 squares or whatever, what kind of feeling, what kind of impression, what kind of image, who are you? I should be able to figure that out pretty quick. Right. And that's something that I want you guys to really understand what you're doing out there with your social media. If it's just, I don't know, dude, I don't want to throw any one thing under the bus, but if it's all equipment, then I'm like, okay, this is an equipment-esque page and this guy's all about his equipment and efficiency and productivity typically. Awesome. And I might decide in 10 seconds or less to follow or not follow. If it's all about, landscaping and designs and before and afters and all this mess, then awesome. This guy's a landscape and he really prides himself in the renovation. If this guy's all about, beautiful lawns, striped photos, then this guy's a maintenance company and it's fantastic. If this account's all about, a beauty blogger and she's, taking photos in front of her home or at her home and highlighting all of her stuff and she's an interior design girl or whatever, dude, that's awesome. I should be able to know, in the last 10, 20, 30 squares. what I should also know is, like, is this a good person? And I can snoop and I can find on Instagram in 10 seconds or less, just like you guys, like, yeah, I don't really like this guy. Or yes, I could like this person. Okay. I just want you guys to like really take your social media serious. Like, it's your digital business card. And again, if you're a landscaper and then every fifth photo, it's like, I'm at Disney, or every fifth photo, I'm fishing with the kids. Like, there's nothing wrong with those activities. Duh. Like, don't, hear what I'm trying to say. But like, keep it on brand, keep it on message, keep it on point. Okay. The last thing I want to just give a quick tip is about comments and who you do engage with. And maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but let me just wrap it up really quick with a simple thought. The comments you guys leave, the engagement that you do partake in, has twofold. There's two things going on here. Maybe you thought about this, maybe you haven't, but let me just throw you guys my cards. Of course, the first one, it's like the tip of the iceberg, right? Like the iceberg tip, and there's way more iceberg. 80% of the iceberg is below the water, right? Like you guys have all heard that analogy. You've probably seen the image on Instagram floating around. But the top 10, 15, 20% of that iceberg that you see, yes, you're answering the comment. Whatever the comment is, that's the person you're commenting. Hey, nice landscape. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Hey, dude, awesome lawn care contract that you sold at Entrepreneur Academy. Help me get a $10,000 account. Hey, man, awesome. Congrats on the success and so much more. Okay, like B2B, B2C, whatever it may be. Okay. That's what you're doing with the comment, answering and engaging. Of course, you know this. But just remember, keep in the back of your mind. And some of you guys, you're young, you're full of spunk. Some of you guys are just aggressive, you're type A's. Those are all good things. All of the above, everything I just said. But just remember, it's not necessarily just the person you're engaging with and commenting back on that is reading that comment. And I'm just giving you like a quick, hey, let's keep this on the forefront of our minds. It's the people that are scrolling your content as well. The casual observer, the casual fan, the new viewer, the new subscriber, the person that randomly was suggested your ad, your content, your video, your reel, your Facebook page. Somebody shared it. Somebody shared it directly with a link, in text message. Hey, go check this guy out. He's pretty awesome. You'll like his lighting. You'll like his landscape work. You'll like his lagoons. You got to remember, right? Like the people that stumble, 80%, 90% of people coming across, 60% at least of people that are coming across your page have never seen you before. So if you're answering those comments, you're arguing, you're argumentative, you're dismissive, you're petty, you're getting into Instagram fighting matches, you're going down Facebook, Facebook wars 80 posts deep. I'm just telling you guys from like a mature standpoint, somebody that has done a quote unquote enough with social media. I'm not Casey Neistat, okay? We're not even close, bro. But as somebody who's been doing some social media stuff, right? I never try to argue with people. I will rebuttal and try to, be firm once in a while because I'm not going to let people walk on me, duh. But don't be a jerk. Remember, the casual viewer, somebody roasted me once about this and they took one photo, go figure, out of context. And this guy is, some loser on Instagram and just still dude, 4 or 5 years later, still just keeps bashing me behind the scenes. And I'm like, dude, that was one post 5 years ago. But here's a tip. There you go. One post 5 years ago still haunts you, right? And I couldn't care less what this idiot thinks. But the point is, you making a post and then calling somebody dumb or dismissing them or thinking they're an idiot, or you get in a Facebook fight or an Instagram fight, or, these different threads and feeds, or people that have YouTube channels and there's comment sections, people just go to war at each other. And if you're a casual viewer seeing the host of that profile or that account arguing back and forth, which could be a loyal potential customer or fan or person, you're like, dude, this guy's arguing with people in the comments. This guy's fighting with people. He's yelling at people. Let me give you a quick, for instance, when you guys ever are on Instagram and you see Chris Brown or somebody a fan runs up on stage and you got two options, right? This is a really bad example, but some of those singers, musicians will hang out with those people, give them a hug. give them a guitar. They'll like rock and roll with, play that guy's song or, sing that guy's lyrics, or Beyonce, like have them sing a section of a song. And that's like heartfelt. It's heartwarming, and those go viral. And of course, there's other people that like run on stage or try to do that or hold up a sign or throw a water bottle or a shoe or something like that. And not only does the artist like lose it, then it goes viral, but then they cancel the concert or something like that, right? Or they like go beat that guy up, or like some rager, you know what I mean? Or some like mosh pit. Like, you guys get what I'm saying? It's kind of a crappy analogy, but listen, I'm the real dude here. I'm not a Joe Rogan over here interviewing people. But like, do you feel like you're more, like you really enjoy that person, that singer, that performer, that artist more when they're a jerk, or probably less? Now, again, you weren't throwing the shoe or the water, which, obviously don't condone that. But like, you're not you're not that person getting in the one-on-one with that artist. You're just a casual fan. You're a casual viewer. Hell, you weren't even in the concert. You're seeing it on Instagram 3 days later. And you go, yeah, I don't like that guy. You're not going to buy his music. You're not going to go to his concert. You're not going to buy his t-shirt, his merch. You don't care when he comes on tour. In fact, you're going to tell everybody, hey, I saw that guy. He's an a-hole. Don't see him. Right? And so you weren't even engaged one-on-one with the situation. But as a casual observer, you're like, yeah, I'm out. There's guys, I went to Craftsman's launch party 3-4 years ago, and there's this guy who is a monkey, and he's got a garage. He was a famous guy that was brought in. He was an absolute tool, absolute dirtbag, a-hole, loser, dirtbag. I've told 1,000 people the story of what he said in public to me and B&B Lawn Care. At least 1,000. Not advocating for the dude, as you can imagine, because he was such an a-hole. Like, that stuff carries weight. If you're going to be a jerk, and you're a jerk to people that you don't even know, that's going to have ramifications. So my point is, when you put that stuff on social media, you start arguing with people, dude, it's a bad image. It's a bad look. And some of you guys are so argumentative. I am, internally in my core. It takes me a lot. Usually if you struggle with this, have your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your aunt, your uncle, your mom, dad, hire somebody. I don't care. Manage your comments for you. For real. There's times when I just have Liz monitor comments because, well, then usually she wants to kill them too, but she's not as invested, quote unquote, because they're not making fun of her. They're making fun of me. So there's an element of she wants to stand up for me, but at the same point, she's not invested, right? So she can just hit delete and ignore. For me, when I read it, I go, what the heck? And I want to fight back. Now, I've really worked on this the last 5 or 6 years. Doesn't bother me as much, but you get my point, okay? By the way, for other people that tag me and stuff or want me to be the arbiter of truth, I'm some internet referee, there's people that cause drama all the time, and then people will drag me through the mix. I'm like, bro, I don't even care. This has nothing to do with me. But somehow people want me to weigh in. Sorry, I have no responsibility there. Stop tagging me and stuff. Stop tagging me and stuff. Stop sharing me things that don't involve me. You're breaking my focus. So, by the way, the person that said the thing is the bad person, the idiot. But you sharing something to me about somebody who said something dumb about me makes you just as much as an accomplice too. No, I don't want to hear it. People are like, hey, did you see this in case you missed it? No, I don't know. I don't care. I'm laser focused. I've never heard or seen anybody who's successful ever doing better than somebody put people down. Never. I've never seen people above you put you down. Never, ever once. It's always people that are quote unquote below you that are trying to pull you down. Period. Case closed. Don't show me that stuff. Don't send it to me. I don't care. I have a wife. I have a kid. I have a kid on the way, building a home. I've got 3 employees that their livelihood depends on me not being an idiot. I've got a barn going up. I've got social media stuff I'm trying to do. I have my wife, my mom, my mother-in-law on payroll. If we don't make $150,000, $200,000 just to cover $250,000 to cover payroll, we go backwards. Do you think that just happens? No. That is intentional. We have to be focused. And then other people are like, hey, did you see what so-and-so and so-and-so did? No, I did not. By the way, why are they putting out that content? And why are you getting lost in the mix? You're distracted and you're literally just being a fool with your own time. Apparently you have more of it than I do. And then those are the exact same people that say, how do you get so much done? Or all these other people have it easier. Like, no, dude, they're working. They're working. All right. That's what I got for you guys on today's short and sweet episode at 50 minutes. This literally was supposed to be a 20-minute episode. It's always how it works. I just want to give you guys just truth, just straight nuggets, just straight helpful content. I don't know if this helps you. This helps me. Most of the podcasts are a therapy session, but any which way. I hope this was some encouragement to you guys. Understand who you're trying to reach. Understand that social media is relationships. It's not everybody. You can't reach everybody. When a video goes 10 million views viral, you can't obviously reach out to everybody, okay? But just realize, like, the loyal 10, 20, 50, 100 people that keep showing up, love on them, encourage them, build relationship with them, build community with them. Okay, like the same people that come visit your local small town bookstore, like they appreciate you coming in. They get to know you. It's no difference. Just because things went online doesn't mean that we stopped doing the same things that we did in person online. But everybody has lost their marbles online because you're like just some, sim NPC living out there in the blogosphere. Like, no, dude, the same rules still apply. Be a decent person. Be a good human. Love on people. Being encouragement. Being an encourager. Edify people. Say nice things about other people. Like, those are basic good human truths that you still need to apply, whether you're doing it in person or whether you're doing it on Instagram or TikTok or your YouTube or your Facebook page, okay? Engage those people. Love on those people. Be kind, okay? Sensationalism sells, man. Stay away from the drama. Yellow page journalism is what I wrote down. Like, everybody watches a car crash in the accident on the side of the road, on the highway. Even the opposite lane, right? We'll slow down and stop to see what happened. Like, just stay focused, ignore that crap, and get to your destination, okay? Your digital yard sign, your business card, your social media is like who you are online. Make sure it says the right things about you. All right. That's what I got for you guys on today's podcast, today's show. New podcast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Super appreciate you guys listening. Thank you seriously all the time for coming back. Let me just pour 1 ounce of anything hopefully good into you guys. I don't take it for granted. Appreciate you guys showing up. Podcast is growing like crazy, so we don't advertise this thing. It's grown organically, man. So if you guys enjoy the show, Andy Frisella's got a great line. The only thing I ask is that you guys share it with a friend. If this helped you out, share it with a friend. Hey, if you guys have a good lawn bro or lawn buddy or lawn girl that you guys hang out with that you think could use an encouraging word, and they can go back through the last 400 or 500, podcast, catalog, and you think there's something encouraging here for them, hey, share the show, and that's all I got, man. Thank you so much for doing so. Also, if you guys haven't left a rating or review, I'm not too proud to ask for those. So if you guys want to hit 5-star or whatever you think it's worth, and leave a couple of sentences, let us know how we're doing. We super appreciate that, and let me know your favorite episode and what else you guys want us to share about. So always appreciate the feedback. It's a two-way street. All right, guys, well, over and out. You guys have a great rest of the day. Look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next one.
We've got the goods. If you're looking for one place to find all the gear, you need to jump on Ballard-Inc.com. With over 30 years in the industry and 23 years selling high-quality products, we've got your back. From mower gear, trailer racks, mower blades, safety gear, and so much more, you'll find everything you need to maximize your efforts and protect your gear in one place. And let's not forget about the new Carbide Tungsten Gold blades that'll have you wondering why it took so long to get these to market. Make sure to use Brian's 10 to save 10% at checkout. We've got a bunch of new gear coming soon, so make sure you're following Brian and Ballard to stay in the loop. Head over to Ballard-Inc.com today and get geared up. Hi, I'm Mr. Producer, and one more thing. If you're looking to stay up to date with the latest trends and insights in the world of lawn care, then you need our free email newsletter. It's delivered 3 times a week and includes a Monday motivational to kick off your week, a Wednesday what's new to keep you informed, and a Friday weekly recap of all the content we put out. Join our mailing list to stay connected to the world of lawn care and get exclusive access to the latest and greatest from Fullerton Unfiltered and Brian's Lawn Maintenance. Don't miss out on this opportunity to stay ahead of the curve and elevate your lawn care game. Sign up now with the link we've provided in the show description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.